Okay, good morning, Chavra. Today is the 28th day of Tishrei. Koyach, Tishrei. In today's lesson, in Galus, the Shechina is clothed within the Klippos, unholy forces. It provides life force for existence in a distant and concealed way. Now,
Excuse me, stop
the recording. Stop the recording. Okay, now, if the creation of all things derives from the Shechina, everything comes from Hashem, from the revelation of divine power. How do we account for those things that derive from the klippos, the entities that oppose godliness? How do we reconcile that? However, outside the land of Israel, I want to pause it for a second also. Okay. Okay, so now inside on page 78. Outside the land of Israel, the life force is bestowed by means of the word of Hashem. Remember, we said that Dvar Hashem is what sustains everything. But outside Chutz La'aretz, that word of Hashem is invested within the extraneous patron angels, whatever that means, that are appointed over the Zion Ummahs, the 70 nations. Meaning, the Hainu sheyored nitzoitz b'dvar Hashem nikra b'shem malchus ta'asiyah. Omeir al asarim shel maila mibechinas makif melamayla. Meaning, a mere spark from the word of Hashem, which is called malchus of asiyah, the lowest level, descends and radiates over the supernal patron angels by encompassing them from above. Meaning, ach einu mislavish ve'em mamish ela nimshach lem chayus me'ha'orazu shemer aleim melamayla b'chinas makif. So when it's milmaila, it means it surrounds and it hovers above. It doesn't permeate completely through the way you would want it to or expect it to. From these angels, life force issues to the nations and to the cattle, beasts, and fowl that are in their lands. The physical world and the physical heavens, meaning the spheres in which the stars orbit. There are distinctions between the various categories of created beings. The heavens and the earth, one category, the cattle, the beasts, the fowl that are pure, kosher, are nurtured by klipas noiga. This is a neutral klippa, let's say a neutral energy. Whereas the impure creatures and the souls of the nations are nurtured by other klippas. So klippas nega represents a finely balanced tension between potential good, which can also be misused, and potential evil, which can be sublimated. There are plenty of things in the world which are parif, which you can utilize for good or not good. Machines, AI, robots, anything. Not anything, but a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You know, you could use a tool to help you. It's a crowbar. What?
Build something.
Yeah. A crowbar can help you open up, Well, the stender, open up something like a can, something, whatever it is, or it could be used to hit somebody in the head, Mm-hmm. What are you going to reach for if you want to cause damage? You reach for the crowbar, smash the window, whatever. Just saying. There's so many things. Outside the land of Israel, because the land of Israel is blessed. Hashem watches the land from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. His eyes are over it, and he sustains it and gives it a lot of love, a lot of attention. Outside the land of Israel, it's amazing because let's look at the Middle East. When you look at a map, it is mind-boggling that such a tiny sliver. It's almost like this whole thing here, and this is Israel. It's not, it's probably smaller. I'm looking for something smaller than that. It's so crazy. And that's what everyone's talking about. That's what they're all fighting about. All those people, they all have an opinion about that little tiny little land. So outside of Israel, the heavens and the earth And all they contain are all esteemed as truly nothing in relation to the angels, which are the conduits for the life force and continued existence. It's like we talked about a blade of grass, that a malach has to strike it and say grow. Every single blade of grass has its malach, its angel. Let's call it its energy force. Because what do you think of an angel? You think of wings and a guy coming down. You know, it's the energy that gives it life. Asarim. Here first, put these in. This one goes on this side. This one goes across. Asarim kalimam shchivi legabe chaysim shach lehem mi'anitzutz b'dvar Hashem hamer aleim elamayla. The angels themselves are esteemed as truly nothing in relation to the life force issuing from them, from the spark, from the word of Hashem, which radiates over them above. Remember we learned, was it on Shabbos, or was it yesterday, that Hashem speaks through the throat of Moshe Rabbeinu? And, the Nevi'im and everything else. So this also, we're like, oh, there's an angel that gives the life force. Not only does Hashem operate through them, but it really is them. It's not like there's a separate thing giving the life force that's like the word of Hashem, and then they take that and they go and build something. No. The life force issuing to them everything in the world, whether it's the animals, the heavens, the earth, even the blade of grass, as we say, radiates in a state of exile within them. That's outside of Eretz Yisrael. This is why they're called other gods. Well, they call him God of the gods, since they consider themselves as deities. Therefore, therefore, in the view of their source, the nations which receive their life force through their patron angels, they're serving, they're thinking they get their chayes from them. No, it's from Hashem, as I said before, just through the angels, through the sparks, through the energy. But if you start serving the angel and say, that's what gives me life force. God is a God, but really they're my God. No, that's mamish avodah zarah. At the end of time, when Mashiach comes, there will be the death of the Sitra Achara, the other side, the unholy aspects of the universe. There's only going to be good, there's only going to be peace, and there's only going to be a relation of godliness. The Pasuk says, then shall I make the nations pure of speech, so that they will all call upon the name of God. There will be no other, they're not going to turn to any other God. The Alter Rebbe now returns to the theme of the divine spark in Galus. So not only are we as Jews in Galus, but the Shekhinah comes along with us. So the sustenance of idolaters through the divine spark is also called the Galus of the Shekhinah Me'achar. Shechayus zeh asher bebechinas Galus b'seicham. This life force, it's like your neshama. Wherever you go, it goes with you. If the world is in Galus, not just the Jews, the whole world is in Galus, really. So the Shekhinah is with them. It stems from the radiation issuing to them from the spark of the word of Hashem, which is called Shekhinah in the terminology of the sages as mentioned above. According to the above, however, it would seem that this state of Galus has existed since the creation of the world. You would think we're in Galus now, but during the time of the Beis Hamikdash, maybe it's different. No, from the beginning of the creation of the world, there was a shattering of the vessels and the sparks were spread out throughout the entire world. And it's our obligation to elevate and bring those sparks back. What is those sparks? What does that mean? It means when you say a blessing on this, there's a spark in there. When you take the tefillin made out of cowhide, you elevate the sparks there. The Galus This Galus was brought about by the fact that the Klippas derived their life force from a spark of Hashem, God's creative speech, which stems from the tree, the sin of the tree of knowledge, which we just read in our parsha last week, and onward. For that time, Klippas were able to receive a degree of vitality that they did not have until that point. However, they received their vitality only backwards. When the Jewish people were exiled among the nations, and the Jewish people are attached and rooted in the supernal countenance, the panim, the innermost, then it became total exile. So first, it was a minor exile because there was the sin lechet etzadas, and then it became major when we intermingled with and we were exiled with amongst all the other nations. And of this, our sages have said, when the Jewish people were exiled to Edom, the Shekhinah accompanied them. So how do we fix that? We end the Galus. And then we will no longer be in Galus, and the Shekhinah will be redeemed with us, with all of us together. So the takeaway is the divine energy that is enclosed in the diaspora is incarcerated, is held hostage, known as Galus HaShechina, and awaits redemption along with the entire world. May the Galus end and the Geula begin, and it only comes about when we do our job, so go do it. Everyone have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.